Kevin O'Connell at the NFL owners meetings revealed something very interesting about why they made a trade for Jordan Mason, and it has everything to do with Aaron Jones. Let me explain. Minnesota Vikings at the running back position were such an interesting enigma going into the offseason. Aaron Jones was the guy that they wanted to retain, but how much do you want to give a guy who's now in his 30s and has been injury prone throughout his career? We know the Minnesota Vikings have really thrived by signing players who have been injured and keeping them healthy, with Jones playing all 17 games, even though he was dinged up a decent part of the year. Well, can you trust that guy to stay healthy again? No, you probably can't. But what they found is that if you can maximize Aaron Jones in a certain way by giving him a 1B option and having a true timeshare. Kevin O'Connell was at the NFL owners meetings and talked about it. His first quote, talking about Aaron Jones, "Yeah, I think the big thing we learned about Aaron Jones last year is he can be an every down back. He was a featured part of our offense. But what we wanted to make sure that we were doing is we were using him in a way that allowed him to be his most impactful self, which is early down run pass game. He's got third down value. I don't think people give him enough credit for his pass protection, either when we're dropping back or third downs. But when he has historically had that 1A, 1B backfield structure, he could be a total game changer every time he touches the ball. So it was always about bringing Aaron back, huge leadership role on our team," end quote. Now that's a big part of it. Having that second guy to be able to balance him out and to be able to keep him fresh and healthy has been a really big factor in the success of Aaron Jones over the course of the year. And if you have that guy, it can be a real elevating factor. First, it was Jamal Williams with the Packers, then A.J. Dillon, and they did a good job of spelling Jones enough to keep him fresh and healthy. They decided to do that by trading for Jordan Mason, and it was interesting because there's a deep running back class in the NFL draft. Why would you make a trade? Well, the trade was basically free. They moved on 27 picks late on day 3 from 160 to 187. They gave up a 6th round pick to get Jordan Mason, who is arguably already a top 20 running back in the NFL. Plus, he's a perfect complement to what Aaron Jones brings. This is what O'Connell had to say right after that Aaron Jones quote about Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason was the guy we played against last year, which was in week 2. Really felt him in a zone run scheme with kind of gap complements like the Niners do. We really felt where what we were looking for was right before our very eyes. A heavy runner, slash runner, tough to tackle, gets in space, and has burst and explosion to finish runs. And also a guy that probably doesn't get enough credit in his pass protection and just every down versatility. So we really aren't pigeonholed into one particular scheme or, in the run pass phase. But I do think Jordan's going to bring something to the table in those short yardage situations, those goal line situations, goal to go, where we've really left a lot to be desired as a football team. And that starts with me to make sure we improve in that area, because we certainly have improved personnel-wise. I think Kwesi would have a better feel for the totality of it, meaning the trade. But I do remember it was not a quick process. It was something that we were trying to figure out what made sense for both sides, end quote. And I think that's a common theme with the Minnesota Vikings. They sign players that they've played against. They played against Javon Hargrave in week 2. They played against Jordan Mason in week 2. They played against Ryan Kelly when they faced the Indianapolis Colts in week 9. This team has found players that they played against, brought them in, and had a lot of success. Jordan Mason's the next one. He's going to be a perfect complement to what Aaron Jones brings. And the best part is, it's a really inexpensive deal. I'm Tyler Forness with A to Z Sports. Let's go Vikings.